What's going on, guys? It is Friday, and that means the Movie Idiot Show, the same show we do every week where we go over all the news and info on TV, movies, streaming, all that fun stuff. And I got a guest today, so I got Ryan here with me today. So say hello, Ryan.
What's up, everybody?
How's it going, man?
Pretty good. What's going on with you?
Not much, really. I mean, there's not really that much movie news to talk about, so, it's going to be a pretty quick show today, right?
Yeah, there's nothing going on in Hollywood at all.
Nothing. A damn thing.
Nope.
Yeah, that's not true, guys. So there's a lot going on today. So this week has been absolutely crazy, and obviously I know a lot of you out there are going to want to talk about all of the Disney stuff from the big Disney investor meeting last night, and we are going to get into that completely, thoroughly, from ass to whatever you want to call it. We're going to get through all of that. But we did want to talk about something off the top first before we get to that. So I'm going to start with that right now. So, Ryan, I'm going to kind of go through some of these articles here really quick. Kind of get the base of the story, and then we'll kind of go over it. So what I think I'm going to do is just read an article, start with that part, and then get your thoughts on that, and then go to the next part and from there. So,
Let's do it.
And the story we want to talk about starting off the top is this one, which I touched on a little bit last week with the Warner Brothers thing. Warner Brothers moving their entire 21 movie slate to debut on HBO Max, day and date with cinemas, and the whole shakeup with that. So obviously I debuted this article last week on the Movie Idiot Show. And then shortly after that, the shit hit the fan. The shit totally hit the fan. So after that, we got Christopher Nolan, who comes out shortly after that. Now, before I get into Nolan's comments, when they did the day and date release they were talking about Wonder Woman 84, and when they did the day and date release on that, Ryan, they paid Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot their points on the back end. They paid them in advance, so they talked to them previously, told them what they were planning to do, and paid them. So right there, that's the first domino that fell with this. So far, okay, they moved one movie, and then they were talking about doing the rest of them. But when they moved the first one, before they did the rest of them, they talked to their partners and they made a deal. So far, good, bad, and different. What do you think?
With the Wonder Woman 84 thing, I'm relatively indifferent about it, but that was a kind of a singular event.
Yes.
And like you said, it was a consulted event. Patty Jenkins, Gal Gadot, they got their points. There was nothing. Wonder Woman 84 has been so anticipated, and it's just been sitting on their shelf. It's losing them money, and I don't know how a movie sitting on a shelf really can lose money once it's already complete. But in whatever Hollywood accounting world they have, fine.
It's
losing
loans.
them money.
It's loans. They lose it in loans.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Exactly,
So.
And that's the No Time to Die, I know that's MGM, but No Time to Die constantly getting pushed back has cost MGM over $40 million just to keep pushing the date back for that. So even with pushing Wonder Woman back, fine, WB's losing millions of dollars. So they want to get it off their shelves. They want to get it out. People want to see it. Here we go. They've come up with the plan. We get it on Christmas.
Yeah.
Great.
All right, cool. So first step. Okay, fine. Second step, then they announced the whole push off of all the movies, day and date release, HBO Max, and theaters at the same time. So now you've pissed off all the theaters right away, because the theaters are not fans of day and date release, obviously. And you've also pissed off your biggest director, Mr. Christopher Nolan, who says, and I quote, and I want to get this quote right, so give me a second to pull it up, because I want to make sure I don't mess this up. I have it here. Hold on.
Is it going to bed working for the greatest movie studio?
Yes, that's what I'm looking for. I want to read it exactly as he said it. Damn it, it was right here in the article too. Here I go, man. Here we go. All right. Some of our industry's biggest filmmakers and most important movie stars went to bed the night before thinking they were working for the greatest movie studio and woke up to find out they were working for the worst streaming service. Now, those are shots fired. He then went on to say it's a very, very messy... It's very, very, very messy. A real bait and switch is what he called it. So right there, Ryan, Nolan's comments. What do you think on that?
Well, Nolan being the diehard cinema guy who refuses to even shoot on digital. He wants everything shot on 35 millimeter when he does his movies. He does the 70 millimeter IMAX format. He's a traditionalist, whatever you want to call it. So Christopher Nolan will always be a shepherd of that theatrical cinematic viewing experience. And I agree with him on that. There are definitely movies, and you and I have talked about this. I know you're on this thought train too, where there are movies that you just need to see in theaters.
Yeah.
You don't say, oh, what am I going to rent on streaming tonight? Oh, I'll rent Tenet. Oh, I'll rent Denis Villeneuve's update of Dune. Like, that's a big movie.
Which
Dune is
we're gonna get to
movie.
that. Don't beat me to this one. We're gonna get to that.
I won't. So I get that the day and date thing, it's like it allows the audience to choose. What are you gonna do? Do you want to just stay at home and watch the movie on HBO Max, or do you want to go to the theater? So fine, it gives the consumer the ability to choose. But on the flip side, you are now spitting in the face, like exactly what Nolan said, of all these filmmakers that have worked on these products through the pandemic, mind you. I mean, it's not as if making Godzilla versus Kong was any easier as it was filming in 2020, at the beginning of 2020,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or Denis Villeneuve finishing Dune in 2020. Once again, wasn't any easier. So you had filmmakers that not only were already passionate about this to begin with, but then continued to work on this because they believed in their product.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like, well, yeah, guys, we're just going to do this instead. And there was no consulting.
Yeah.
That there was literally no consulting. So the lack of transparency on WB's part is kind of what's appalling in the whole situation, is that it's like the definition of going off half-cocked.
Yeah. Yep.
They just shot from the hip and we're like, oh, a buckshot.
Yep. And I agree. I feel exactly the same as you on that front. I think they, like you said, went off half-cocked, and they, again, to not even consult. And that brings me to the next part of all of this. So the next part being this next article I'm going to bring up right here. Directors Guild criticizes Warner Brothers over HBO Max deal. Yeah. So, and in this article, they say, let's see, where is the quote that I was looking for? Here we go. There's so much controversy around it because they didn't tell anyone. That was Nolan's comment too. But yeah, so they were all blindsided. The DGA and Warner Brothers. Let's see here. I'm trying to find. I know there was a quote from the DGA. Anyway, the point being is that the DGA, the Directors Guild of America, has been very adamant that they are obviously against this, and now there are rumors that they could even boycott Warner Brothers. So the Directors Guild, all the directors, which like 95% of the directors in Hollywood, minus like a Robert Rodriguez, are part of the Directors Guild of America. So if they all walk, it's bigger than just that too, because all the directors will walk, and then all those unions in Hollywood stick together. So the SAG, the Screen Actors Guild, they're going to walk. The Writers Guild, they're going to walk. There's a good chance that if Warner Brothers keeps going with this, that they're going to get most of the top directors, actors, and writers. They're going to walk. They're going to stay away from Warner Brothers.
Well, and the other flip side to that is Warner Brothers being one of the big five. All the big fives essentially have to play by guild rules. That's actually one of the reasons why 15 years ago Robert Rodriguez left the DGA, is because he was a director who kind of cut his teeth in indie film. I mean, if you know the history of El Mariachi, he donated his body to medical science to raise the budget to film El Mariachi.
What?
Yeah. Robert Rodriguez funded El Mariachi with $7,500 that he made by donating his body to medical science.
Oh my God. I did not know that.
So, yeah.
Holy
shit.
That's dedication. That's dedication to filmmaking.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, that's dedication. Even I'm not going that far. But WB has to WB has to play by guild rules, and it's like I don't know the specifics of it. I mean, I'm not a guild member or anything like that, but I know that any project they do, they have to hire actors who are card-carrying members of SAG-AFTRA. They have to hire directors who are card-carrying members of DGA. Their scripts have to be written by WGA writers. It's not like they can just choose like, oh, well, okay, you don't want to work with us, we don't want to work with you, fine. We're just going to go start hiring indie filmmakers. They just legally cannot do that.
Yeah.
They used to have Warner Independent, which was allowed to do that, but Warner Independent wins.
So here's my question for you then. Let's say the guild is the one who walks. Is then Warner Brothers, then they're open to hire whoever they want, right? Because they're not the one breaching contract, technically, right? Theoretically. It works like any other business, right?
You would think so. That's kind of like on the nose. That's what you would kind of think. But with the way the guilds work, I wouldn't put it past that there would just be years upon years of litigation involved in it.
Yeah.
And you and I will probably even be dead by the time they'd settle it.
Sure. The point being is that Warner Brothers would be in real trouble.
Right. Unless they can come to some type of agreement with the guilds. But once again, now that they've already... If they wanted to play the game properly, they should not have dropped this announcement without consulting all their producing partners. And I mean, I'm not saying go to every single filmmaker and be like, hey, Christopher Nolan, I know we've had a business relationship for 20 years, but what do you think of this? Or, hey, Denis Villeneuve, I know, we've been having a good relationship for the last 5 years. What do you think of this? It's not really their business so much as it is like with Legendary Pictures, which is a huge producing aspect of Warner Brothers.
And that's another thing we're going to get to very shortly.
Yes, and that's like, they didn't even consult with Legendary Pictures. And it's like, Legendary Pictures is like, you produced Batman Begins, you produced The Dark Knight, you produced, I'm now drawing a blank on Legendary Pictures. Oh, Godzilla, though. They produced Godzilla.
Well, and they're producing Dune. They're actually financed, I think it was like 70% of Dune.
Yeah.
They financed. So, and like I said, we're going to get into that in a minute because that's one of the next articles coming up. So, jumping into this, this morning, when I was doing some last minute show prep, I ran across this article here. So you were talking about Denis Villeneuve, and he spoke out. And not only did he spoke out, he literally wrote an article in Variety himself.
Oh yeah, yep.
So
I didn't check it out yet.
Which
I heard about it.
I didn't realize when I first saw this. I was like, oh, this is an article. I was looking for the quote. I'm like, I can't find his quote. And then I scrolled back up and I saw it's by him. So I'm going to read some of this. I don't know if I'm going to get through all of it here, but here's what he had to say. He said, I learned in the news that Warner Brothers has decided to release Dune on HBO Max at the same time as our theatrical release, using prominent images from our movie to promote their streaming service. With this decision, AT&T has hijacked one of the most respectable and important studios in film history. There is absolutely no love for cinema, nor for the audience here. It is all about the survival of a telecom mammoth, AT&T. A telecom mammoth. The page jumped on me. These ads really mess this up. Where was I? AT&T hijacked most respectable telecom mammoth, and that is currently being in astronomical debt, more than $150 billion. So yeah, AT&T, the parent company of Warner Brothers, is $150 billion in debt. Therefore, even though Dune is about cinema and audiences, AT&T is about his own survival on Wall Street, with HBO Max's launch a failure thus far. AT&T has decided to sacrifice Warner Brothers' entire 2021 slate in a desperate attempt to grab the audience's attention. Now, I will say this. I wouldn't consider HBO Max's launch a failure. It hasn't been great. They should have put it on Roku. They should have put it on Fire Stick right away. They've made the Fire Stick deal, and they're going to have the Roku deal most likely by the end of the year, probably before December 25th when Wonder Woman hits.
Wait a minute, you mean they went off half-cocked again?
Yeah, exactly. And it was a poor decision on their part to do that. But I would say I would stop short in calling it a failure, because they do have quite a bit. I don't remember what the exact number is, but it's a pretty decent subscriber base for year one. Not even year one. It's been like, what, a quarter?
Right.
So, he goes on. Warner Brothers' sudden reversal from being a legacy home filmmakers to a new era of complete disregard draws a clear line for me. Filmmaking is a collaboration reliant on mutual trust, teamwork, and Warner Brothers has declared that they are no longer on the same team. And he's going to keep going on. I'm not going to read all of it because it's a pretty long article. But the point being is what you were saying, that Warner Brothers has not consulted with anybody on this. And that brings, and he brought it up, and you brought it up too, brings up the next article that I was going to talk about, is Legendary, which financed a significant portion of Dune, which cost roughly $175 million, and Godzilla vs. Kong, which carries a price tag of $160 million. Yet the company was largely kept out of the loop that their films would be included in Warner Brothers' plan to send 17 films, its entire 21 slate, to the streaming service and movie theaters at the same time. So they did not consult with Legendary at all on these decisions, and Legendary financed, again, the majority, and it says the majority of Dune specifically. So you made them pay for it, and then you aren't going to let them make the money that they could possibly make on it. And I understand that, the pandemic's going on right now, but at the same time, by the time Dune's not supposed to release until late next year now. They pushed it off an entire year. So, I mean, I'm sorry, but they screwed Legendary. Legendary may have a very strong lawsuit. So, I know you kind of touched on it, but your thoughts on Legendary and that whole part of this, go.
That's it. I mean, Legendary in and of itself is only a production company. They don't have the distribution arm. So when it comes to this partnership, that once again, we're going back to Batman Begins, which is a 15-year partnership between Legendary and Warner Brothers. And like I said, I'm blanking right now, but I know they've produced a lot more movies for Warner Brothers besides just Batman Begins and besides just Godzilla and Kong Skull Island. Like, they've done a lot of production work and then relied on Warner Brothers to distribute it.
Yeah.
So, yes, of course they have a good case for legal action, because that's exactly it. I mean, I don't know the ins and outs of that Hollywood accounting. And of course, Hollywood accounting is very, veiled in secrecy, and
it's very difficult. There's a lot to it, and I agree. I think especially to have them finance most of Dune just to turn around, and then that's just terrible. It's just terrible.
Yeah.
And the final article I have to kind of close out this whole topic hit this morning on Deadline at 6:08 a.m. And the headline is, AMC Entertainment warns cash may be gone in January, slams Warner Brothers. So, struggling AMC Entertainment says it risks running out of funds in January. In its latest warning cry, it said it needs $750 million to remain viable through 2021. Even if it raises that, it still risks bankruptcy next year if moviegoing doesn't pick up. And Warner Brothers may have made that harder to accomplish when they moved their whole slate.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm going to add something to this that's not in this article. The day that Warner Brothers made that announcement, in the morning, AMC made an announcement that they have refinanced some more stock and sold off some more stock to get some cash assets, and their stock was flying up, and they were looking good because they were selling off stock and people were buying. And with the news of the vaccine and everything else, they were riding a high wave.
Yeah, that was a big day. That was a big day.
By noon, I think it was around noon when AT&T and Warner dropped that news that they were going to move the whole slate, that whole thing changed. So now AMC is trying to sell off their stock.
Yeah.
And Warner Brothers fucked them over that day before fucking them over for the whole year, or fucking them over for the whole year. So they screwed AMC over double in one move. So yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the whole thing. That's the whole mess right now.
That was about it. Yeah, and AMC, that was a really big day. AMC's stock, which had been hovering about $2 a share, plus or minus 10 cents. The day that the vaccine news broke, they opened at Friday. The previous Friday, they closed at like $2.49 a share.
Yeah.
They opened at $4.27 a share.
Yep. And people were investing in theaters again.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay, this is going to break. We're going to be fine. And then Warner Brothers did this.
Yeah.
So
also with the stock thing, though, you think with how many day traders you have that really just want to make money off of trading and selling and all that other stuff. I mean, your stock, you buy it $2 and some cents a share, and then it opened at $3 a share, $4 a share. Cool. I just made 50% for pushing a couple buttons. Boop, boop, boop. And there it is. It's gone.
Yep.
So there goes that money.
Yeah. And it sucks, man. And WB may have single-handedly killed, the theaters were already in trouble, but they may have single-handed. This could be that nail. It could be that nail in the coffin. I hope it isn't, but it really looks like it is, man. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. But
maybe we consider it. Oh, go ahead.
There is a ray of hope. One sliver ray of hope for theaters, and that's going to come in our next topic in just a second. So before we get to that, though, I forgot to do something at the top of the show because I was so excited to talk about Warner Brothers.
Oh, yes, the tip line.
Yeah, so, all right, guys, so make sure if you guys want to, you can talk to us live during the show. So we're streaming on Twitch, we're streaming on YouTube, we're streaming on Facebook. You can comment live, and we will answer you and talk to you live as the show goes. Or the best way, of course, to comment and, submit questions to the show is through the tip link. That is streamlabs.com/movie88. Because when you comment with the tip link, you are supporting the show and helping build the channel. And hopefully someday we can make enough money so I can actually pay my guests when they come on. So,
or you pay yourself.
Or pay myself. Yeah, I'm not doing that either. So, but we're trying to build a good community. So if you guys, if you feel so inclined, comment via the tip link, and that would be awesome and help us out and help build this channel. So that's what we're trying to do. And one more thing before we get to our next main topic, of course, make sure you guys subscribe, like, share, comments, all that stuff, because every like, share, comment, subscription helps build the channel and helps build this community, and that's what we're trying to do. So, all right, now that I got all the business stuff all the way that I should have got done before, we're gonna go to the next topic. So the next big main topic is obviously the huge one, and this is Disney Plus. And Disney themselves. And Disney had their big investors meeting. And I'm just going to keep you up on the screen here because I'm going to read all this stuff off to you as we go. So Disney had the big investors meeting. And before we get into everything, because I'm going to break it down from each segment and each thing. But before we get into that, kind of broad things, two big things that I took out of this. One, Disney was serious about their commitment to shifting their programming to streaming programming. They talked a lot about Hulu and all the things they're going to do with that. They talked a lot about this new thing for overseas called Star and Star Plus, which they're going to include on Hulu and Disney Plus as kind of add-ons and whatnot. And then obviously all of the expansion that they're going to be doing on Disney Plus. A lot of movies are going to go straight to Disney Plus, and they're not going to go to the theaters. But one thing Disney did say, and it goes kind of back to the topic we were just talking about before with theaters, is that the tentpoles, so your Black Widow, your Star Wars films, those are going to be theatrical first release. They are still committed to theatrical runs on big tentpole movies. So before we get into all the crazy stuff, your thoughts on that in general, go. It's all you
know. Were they in this, did they also stick to the 90-day exclusivity window with things like Black Widow and Star Wars?
So they have not, they didn't really say, but the ones that they didn't stick to, they said they weren't going to. So there were what movie? There was one movie. I'm sure I'll find it when I start going through all this. But there was one movie that they were doing day and date, but they had pre-negotiated it. They talked about it. So the other movies they didn't say, but I imagine if they were planning on doing that, they probably would have said something.
The Raya and the Last Dragon.
Yes, Raya and the Last Dragon. Yeah, Raya and the Last Dragon. Yeah, so that's the one that's gonna day and date. But they pre-negotiated that, and we already knew that they had released that information a while ago. So that wasn't that wasn't anything unexpected. So the way because I watched the meeting, so the way it came across to me is that they were committed to the theatrical window. Now, look, it may be a shortened window, especially with the whole Universal deals out there, and especially with what Warner Brothers is doing. There's a chance it could be a shortened window. They may negotiate that. Yeah. But they're still committed to releasing these movies on those on theatrical releases first. And that's how they said it. And that's one of the they said first, which makes me think that it won't be day and date. It will be theatrical release first, and then Disney Plus after. Mm-hmm. Now, one of them they talked about is going to be a Disney Plus premium release, and that was the Raya and the Last Dragon.
Raya and the Last Dragon.
That's going to be the Disney Plus premium release thing. So that's kind
the
of
one that costs $30.
Well, that Mulan did. Who knows if they're going to... I think they probably won't charge that much. They didn't say that, but they did not do well with Mulan. So no. I can't imagine they're going to jump into that quite the same. So I'm guessing it probably will be a cheaper price than the $30.
Well, Mulan had that fallout too because of some, they thanked some Chinese Bureau of Legal Affairs or something, which is they were criticized for thanking it because it was a pro-communist or something like. There was that whole ban.
I didn't even hear anything about that, to be honest.
Really, the hashtag ban Mulan thing?
Yeah, I did not hear about that.
Oh yeah, that was a thing for a little bit, but with cancel culture these days, you're always everything anything that could be perceived anyway from either side. Cancel this guy. It's crazy. Every day there's for like a couple days, there's always like one thing that's trying to get canceled. Yeah. So for a couple days they tried to cancel Mulan. Yeah. I like I said, I can't even really think of what it was, but So the big difference. Yep. Yes.
Oh no, go ahead. I'm gonna let you go.
The big difference here is how you look at how WB handled it, and then now like with Disney just releasing this was a big bombshell of information that dropped yesterday. But of course it was Investors Day or whatever they call it. It was a big they've been kind of cultivating this presentation for a very long time. Mm-hmm. Disney, and I've always been not the biggest Disney fan. From just their practices of it's like you still go to Best Buy, and for some odd reason, Captain America: The First Avenger still costs $20.
Oh, but, yep.
Like,
still,
why?
no.
If I, right.
Yep.
Like, why? Or Thor? Why is the first Thor still $20 on Blu-ray when I could buy, go to the $5 bin and get a Lionsgate film that, like Moonlight, which won Best Picture, I could get that for $5 out of the.
Well, and they also go out of their way too to buy a lot of like the stuff off of eBay and whatnot. So they like go out of their way to make sure that their price points are it's crazy, like the lengths that they go to. Mm-hmm. I fully agree with that part on Disney.
And that's always been a thing for me with Disney that I've always kind of been, frankly, just pissed at them about. It's like, why do you have to be greedy about it? And I get it, your products probably have the most diverse of audiences because everyone's going to want to watch an MCU movie. Everyone usually wants to watch a Star Wars movie. It's not like niche films like, Lionsgate's Moonlight or La La Land or whatever, But do you really need to just always have that extra $3?
I mean...
it's business. It's economics.
The phrase? It's not show friends. It's show business, right? Like,
exactly.
It just
so.
But I totally get what you're saying on that. But so, just starting from the fact that they still have committed some movies to theatrical release. What your thoughts on that? And, like, is it just simply because they think these movies can still make $1 billion and that's why, basically?
To be honest, who knows with them? It appears it's a multifaceted thing, because now it appears like, oh, we still care about cinema, so we're going to release these movies in theaters, and we're going to still bring that cinematic experience to the public. And here's Black Widow, who everyone has been waiting for. I mean, Black Widow looks really cool, so I'm excited to see it in theaters. The thing is that I got out of it is that Disney consulted with their partners.
Yeah.
And that is what it comes down to, is once again, on the nose, they need to appear to be like, well, we understand this is a very evolving time in theatrical exhibition, and a very evolving time for this industry, where a lot of it's like you wake up and, okay, well, now we got to do this, now we got to do that, now we got to do this, and protocols are changing. So they appear to care, and I'll give them that. Like, I'm not going to say otherwise.
Yeah.
But
so what I was going to say, my kind of take on it is this. Yes, they appear to care, but I don't think this is a care thing. I think it's a numbers thing. What I think they're doing is they're going, look, we're going to get our subscribers no matter what, right? So why not do theatrical release first? It makes our fans happy that, the diehards are going to go see this movie on a big screen, no matter what, right?
Yeah.
So why don't we release it as many theaters as we can? And that's the gravy. That's the gravy money right now. Even if theaters go almost all away completely, they won't be completely gone. There'll still be some theaters, so they can make that gravy money first, and then turn around, drop them on Disney Plus for a premium price or a rental price or whatever, especially with Marvel and Star Wars. And that they'll get that money, and then they'll get all the subscribers that will do that. And then the ones who won't pay the premium will still subscribe and wait until they get the stuff for free with their subscription. So either way, they're going to get those fans regardless. So they're trying to milk every penny they can out of these movies, is basically.
Well, and the subscriptions are going up too.
Oh yeah, $1, $1
so
here.
It's going up $1.
But not if you get the full I do the tri package, so I have Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus. So that one's going to stay the same. But if you just do it by itself,
$12.99 or whatever it is.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah. So, but still, So that was what, and they went through a lot of finances stuff in the beginning and at the end. The one thing they didn't talk about at all during the whole entire meeting is the parks. They didn't talk anything about the parks at all. So, why would they? They're trying to get investors. They're not trying to scare people off. Sorry, my headphones are weird. There we go. I got them fixed. All right, so they're not trying to scare people off. So they didn't talk about the parks at all. But all right, so here's how we're gonna do this. I'm gonna go kind of studio by studio. So because we have all the different studios in Disney, right? So I'm gonna go studio by studio and all their big announcements. We'll go over their stuff, talk about the studio as a whole, and then go to the next one. If that's cool with you, sound good?
Yeah. All
right.
Learn it out.
Because there's a lot. There's a ton of stuff. All right, so Walt Disney Television. We'll start there. They announced The Mighty Ducks Game Changers, which is it's going to be a show, I believe. Let's see. Lauren Graham from Gilmore Girls and Emilio Estevez, who's reprising his role, starring in the next chapter of the hit Mighty Ducks franchise, premiering early in 2021. In present-day Minnesota, the Mighty Ducks have evolved from scrappy underdogs to ultra-competitive powerhouse, and some kid named Evan can't play. And the point being is that it's
sure.
So it's a television show. So they're making the Mighty Ducks kind of into a TV show.
A live-action TV show.
Live-action TV show, yeah. So,
and they're bringing back Gordon Bombay.
They're bringing back Bombay. Bombay's coming back. All right. The next one, Big Shot. It's a series that follows a temperamental college basketball coach who gets fired from his job and must take a coaching job at an elite all-girls private high school. Big Shot stars John Stamos and an assembled cast of up-and-coming actors alongside Yvette Nicole Brown. So that's kind of your feel-good, sportsy type movie with Uncle Jesse as the coach. The Mysterious Benedict Society. Placed undercover in a boarding school known as the Institute, a group of orphans must foil a nefarious plot of global ramifications while creating a new sort of family along the way. So that one looked weird. Honestly, it was kind of an interesting vibe to it when I saw the promo for it. And then the last one they're doing is Turner and Hooch. So they're bringing back Turner and Hooch. So Turner and Hooch, ambitious, buttoned-up U.S. Marshal inherits a big, unruly dog, soon realizes the dog he didn't want, maybe the partner he needs. Josh Peck is going to be starring in that. So, yeah. So that's where we're at on Walt Disney Television. So, obviously, it's not the big, crazy news, but, Walt Disney Television, just thoughts right off the top.
I mean, they got it. That's a slate. That's quite a slate.
Yeah.
And I know when the news of this Disney Investor Day, they literally, it's almost like they didn't, every IP that they have is just somehow now playing a role in Disney Plus.
Yeah.
It almost seems that way, which is great. I mean, yeah, Mighty Ducks. Dude, I love Mighty Ducks. So yeah, bring back Gordon Bombay. And
I was shocked, and I don't know if you saw. I don't know if you've seen the preview yet, but Emilio Estevez looks a lot like Martin Sheen now. He looks and sounds a lot like his dad. So, honestly, so my thoughts on it really quick. Turner and Hooch, Mighty Ducks. I will see. I mean, I'll give him a watch if I'm bored. It's not. It's not anything I needed, but it's good filler stuff for Disney Plus. I think most of
the kids will watch it.
Yeah, exactly. So I think most of it's coming out this year too. So I'm not gonna go over all the synopsis of the National Geographic stuff. There's just a lot, and honestly, I. So
there's a lot, but even with Nat Geo, once again, so Chris Hemsworth does.
I was gonna talk.
Yeah, the Limitless show.
Yep.
And now you got...
I'll read off the shows, but I'm not going to do the synopsis. So there's the Cousteau, there's the Martin Luther King show. It's called Genius.
Yeah.
Secrets of Wales, A Real Bug's Life, America the Beautiful, Limitless with Chris Hemsworth. This one is hilarious. Welcome to Earth, starring Will Smith.
Yes. And it's developed by Darren Aronofsky.
When I heard that... All I thought when I heard that, I was like, look, they took the line from Independence Day, welcome to Earth.
Yes.
And then they're like, okay, now we need to make a show around this. But it caught my attention at least, and it gets people talking, But I do think the Chris Hemsworth one you brought up. Go ahead, man. Roll with that one because I like the thought of this one.
I honestly, I didn't read what it was about. But
so basically he's going to be doing workouts in exotic locations more or less, and then just talking about lifestyle changes and exercise and diet and stuff and how that helps slow down the aging process and things like that. So
and he's freaking jacked now.
Yes.
I know there was.
He's been kind of jacked, but yeah,
he's been jacked. But yeah, he's playing Thor, and he's always been jacked. But there was some picture I saw of him and on the set of Thor: Love and Thunder or whatever, and I was just like, oh my.
Oh, I can't wait to talk about that movie, by the way. But,
what happened to Chris Hemsworth?
Yeah.
He is a beast.
Apparently, he's been filming a fitness show for National Geographic. So.
That's what happened.
Yeah,
there you go. There you go. He filmed a show called Limitless, and this is what happens.
Yeah.
I mean, he literally looks like, I would love to just see Chris Hemsworth and The Rock fight each other.
Oh, my God. Can they please do a movie together? I feel like it'd be amazing. Holy shit. All right, Walt Disney Animation. So Walt Disney proper. I'm pretty sure. This is
one more thing.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Just with the Nat Geo thing, can we just talk about Welcome to Earth for just a second?
Yeah.
First of all,
that's a working title, by the way, according to
I know, but how could you not do it? How could you not have it? Yeah. That's got to be the title of the show. But it's developed by Darren Aronofsky. In what universe did you ever think that the sentence Disney Plus and Darren Aronofsky collaborate this is the guy that has given us the Requiem for a Dream isn't exactly a Disney product.
No.
Black Swan is not a Disney product.
No.
The Wrestler with Rourke is not exactly, Mother with Jennifer Lawrence.
So
it's just not.
So quick synopsis on that show. In each episode, Smith, whose curiosity and wonder is positively infectious, is guided by National Geographic explorers traveling to different corners of the world to get an up close and personal with the weirdest, most unusual, dangerous, thrilling spectacles of the planet. So there you go.
Yes,
that's Welcome to Earth. Please,
welcome to Earth.
He better start off every show just like that. Just drop the line exactly
drop
as
the
he
line.
did every single time. Hey, I'll watch every fucking show just to hear him say that every time.
I would. I mean, Will Smith recently too. Like, what was that other thing he did? His bucket list show on YouTube or something.
The big one was the one where he had his wife on and they talked about all that stuff. But I don't know. I didn't really watch it. I'm sorry to say.
I feel like Will Smith is he's fallen back in the public eye, and he's not exactly as received as he used to be.
Well, he's getting older. I mean, I think he's like 55 now.
Yeah, he's up there, but I guess I don't understand the backlash towards Will Smith, where like with the bucket list show, everyone was like, "Oh yeah, let's just watch some guy who's got multi-millions of dollars go check things off his bucket list." Like,
yeah, I honestly I didn't see the show, so I don't really know that much about it.
No, I don't
I still watch his movies. I saw Gemini Man, which was okay. Like it was. But, all right, we can go on a tangent if we have a lot of stuff to get through. So all right, so Walt Disney Animation Studios proper. So Raya and the Last Dragon. And that's the one we talked about that's going to have day and date. So Raya and the Last Dragon will be released on March 5th, simultaneously in theaters and on Disney Plus with premiere access. Travels to the fantasy world of Kumandra, where humans and dragons lived together long ago in harmony. Baymax. That's Baymax, Walt Disney Animated Studios' first ever animated series, takes place on a fantastical city of San Francisco and features the fan favorite healthcare bot Baymax. I think that's a show, actually. I think and that show's going to be set up kind of weird. It's going to focus more on what Baymax's actual purpose was. So it's not going to be like Big Hero 6.
I was just going to say, Baymax's Big Hero 6, right?
Yeah, so it's not going to be a superhero movie. It's going to be about him being a nurse droid, more or less. So, Zootopia Plus. Zootopia Plus heads back to the fast-paced mammal metropolis of Zootopia in a short-form series directed by Trent Corey and Josie Trinidad. Zootopia drives deeper into the lives of some of the feature film's most intriguing characters, including Frou Frou and newly married Arctic Shrew Giselle's talented tiger dances, and the slothful surprises Flash. So that show, it's actually going to be shown as short TV shows featuring, so the sloth is going to have a show, like a reality show about dancing and that kind of stuff. So it's almost like if those shows existed in the Zootopia world, and this is how you'd see them on their TV, basically. Iwaju is a new original series coming to Disney Plus in 2022. The series is the first of its kind collaboration between Walt Disney Animation Studios and Pan-African comic book entertainment company Kugali. Don't hold me to that pronunciation. And its founders, don't hold me to these either. Tolu Oluwufieku and Ziki Nelson and Hamid Ibrahim. Iwaju, which roughly translates to the future in Yoruba language, is steeped in science fiction. The long-form series is set in Lagos, Nigeria, exploring deep themes of class, innocence, and challenging the status quo. This show, if you saw the preview for it, looks really cool, actually. It looks pretty awesome. It's almost like Wakanda, but different. But oh my god, dude! It looks really
playing off of that. It's playing off the subgenre of Afrofuturism, which I mean the subgenre of Afrofuturism has been around for a really long time. It's not like Black Panther came up with that, but Black Panther brought it Black Panther brought it to the world, to the forefront, and this was like, look at this. This is what we call Afrofuturism, and it's like, oh wow, this is an interesting genre, and it's like, I think the Waju is going to play off of that, and it does look really good.
I'm excited for that one. Holy shit, I got to see that show.
Yeah.
So, all right. Tiana's coming to Disney Plus in 2023. It's a long-form musical comedy featuring the extraordinary entrepreneur known in the Princess of Kingdom of Maldonia. The all-new adventures explore both Maldonia and Tiana's beloved hometown, New Orleans. Tiana is the first princess to have her Walt Disney Animation Studio series. So again, a series based on the Princess Tiana from Princess and the Frog. Moana the Series, which is another television show. Moana the Series coming in 2023. Long-form musical series follows Moana as she ventures far beyond the reef. So extending the story of Moana. Moana's a huge IP, and so I'm curious to know if they're going to have The Rock back for that, because as Maui. So because if he jumps on that show instantly becomes more must-see, because for some reason when you attach Dwayne Johnson's name to anything, it just becomes it makes money. That's what he does. He just prints money, So,
it does.
All right. So that's Disney. That is Walt Disney Animation Studios.
Yes.
Okay, quick.
They got a lot going on.
Yeah, quick. That wasn't Disney proper, by the way. Those were their TV shows. So I misquoted that. Quick, just on those shows, quick synopsis, like a quick rundown. What do you think?
They got a great slate coming out, and they are really a staple when it comes to the cultural diversity of their products, which I think is a good thing. I mean, it's
I would agree.
Princess and the Frog. What's her name from Princess and the Frog?
Tiana. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I mean, that's an awesome idea. Moana the series. I didn't see Moana, but I know I listened to the soundtrack of Moana, and the soundtrack's really good.
Don't worry.
Sure I'll watch Moana
You'll be
someday.
Watching Moana pretty soon, probably.
Well, that's see, my son loves the Moana soundtrack, so I'm sure at some point we'll have to watch the movie Moana. It's their IPs for Disney Animation are very solid, and I guess I'm thinking about it because I was just going to talk about the Buzz Lightyear origin story, but that's Pixar, so
we'll get to there too. Yeah,
get to that one. Disney Animation right now, I don't think you can go wrong with, and there are certain concerns I think that people voice about their how to phrase it. I guess they're just liberal presentation of cultural relativism and such, but personally I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, I agree.
So
and I just kind of my quick synopsis on that stuff, honestly. I lost my place, I'm sorry. The Baymax one is interesting, especially since they decided not to continue with the superhero role of it, just because how big superhero stuff is right now. I kind of was a little shocked with that, so we'll see once that comes to fruition what it looks like, but I'm interested to see what it looks like. I definitely do want to see the Iwaju thing. I think that's going to be cool. And then the others, it's Disney shows. We'll see.
Moana the series probably. And
Raya and the Last Dragon, I do want to see. I definitely want to check that out, but not for a Disney Plus Premier Access price. So
no.
So,
but that's kind of the Raya and the Last Dragon is that kind of animation. Like, I mean, is that kind of like on par with like Kubo and the Two Strings?
Yeah, similar type of thing. Yeah. Okay, so now Disney, or I think this is actually Disney proper, I'm pretty sure. They have so many divisions, it's hard to keep track. Okay, so.
Yeah, I honestly haven't even heard the term Disney proper until you just mentioned it.
So, Hocus Pocus 2, obviously the sequel to Hocus Pocus. So, and that literally just says Hocus Pocus 2 is going to be exclusive to Disney Plus, and Adam Skankman is set to direct. So there we go.
Shankman?
Oh, my bad. Shankman, you're correct. Sorry, Adam Shankman. Told you, man. I worked all night. It's been a long night.
Yeah.
All right, so 3 Men and a Baby. 3 Men and a Baby. They're doing a remake of that. A modern take on the hilarious 80s comedy will start Zac Efron. 2022 release on Disney Plus. Safety. This actually looks kind of good. Safety premiering today, right now. You could watch Safety right now. So this show is a drama inspired by the Empower story of former Clemson University football safety Ray McElrath. Ray McElrathbey, a young man facing a series of challenging circumstances whose dedication and persistence help him triumph over repeated adversities. Marshall director Reginald Hudlin helms the uplifting drama. So, look, first thing, I love the movie Marshall. So, if it's got the director from Marshall, I'm totally in. I did see the preview for this. Actually, my girlfriend was like, "Hey, you got to check out this preview," and it looks pretty good. It looks like that type of movie, that feel good sports type, movie.
Right.
So, kind of in that Blind Side and Marshall. I'm a sucker for those movies.
And even 42.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for those movies. So I'll probably end up watching this. But anyway, all right. The Keenan Lowe Project. Keenan Lowe Project coming in Disney Plus is inspired by the incredible real life of a story of a high school coach who averted tragedy through compassion. Dwayne Johnson, Danny Garcia, Hiram Garcia are on board as producers for the project through their 7 Bucks Productions. So I don't know any more about that than literally that sentence. So we're just going to move on. Greek Freak. The Greek Freak heads into production next year for Disney Plus. It's the story of NBA MVP Giannis and I can never say this name and Tekken Kupanupido. I don't know. Giannis. It's the story of Giannis. He's one of the biggest stars in the NBA right now. So he was the NBA MVP not this past year but the year before. His story is actually a really interesting story. So it's going to be a documentary. The Chris Paul Project, another documentary. You'd think we were watching the ESPN thing, but no, this is all Disney.
Yeah.
The Chris Paul Project. Chris Paul Project is a biographical film developed for Disney Plus about the NBA superstar Chris Paul. It follows Paul's deeply moving story, family legacy. Flora and Ulysses. Flora and Ulysses is a delightful comedy adventure based on Newbery Award-winning book about a 10-year-old Flora, an avid comic book fan and self-avowed cynic who rescues a squirrel with unique... oh my God, this is the one. So... when they showed the preview for this, I thought this was Squirrel Girl. I thought this was it. They finally did it. They finally made the Squirrel Girl movie. But no, it's not quite Squirrel Girl. But yeah, she has a pet squirrel, and this squirrel has superpowers. So I actually might check that out just on principle of that. But Cheaper by the Dozen remake, reimagining a comedy with the Blackish producer Kenya Barris, will air on Disney Plus in 2022. Story centers. So they basically took Cheaper by the Dozen and made the family multiracial.
Yes.
Diary of a Wimpy Kid. It's Diary of a Wimpy Kid except animated. So obviously there'll probably be a new script or a new take on it, but the Ice Age Adventures of Buck Wild. So that's just a spin-off of the Possum and Ice Age. Night at the Museum to air on Disney Plus is animated. So they're going to have an animated form of Night at the Museum. I'm very curious if they're going to have Teddy Roosevelt's character on there, especially with Robin Williams passing. So I'm very curious to see how they handle that. Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers. I actually really want to see this. Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers is a hybrid live-action animated feature for Disney Plus in development. Akiva Schaffer, who directed Popstar, directs John Mulaney, Andy Samberg, and are set to star in title roles with Seth Rogen doing a cameo. Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers is slated for spring of 2022. So this it's a movie, right? Animated feature. Yeah, animated feature.
Well, yeah.
So this is a live action movie with cartoon characters in the kind of the Roger Rabbit.
Frame Roger Rabbit vein.
But it's not that makes me want to see this. It's the fact that this is Disney proper and the people behind it are anything but Disney proper.
Once again, Pops. The soundtrack to Popstar which
Yeah.
is an Andy Samberg film, and Akiva Schaffer.
Akiva Schaffer is Lonely Island. They're in the Lonely, Andy Samberg and Akiva Schaffer are the Lonely Island.
Yeah.
So I am curious how much they're going to push the envelope here, being on Disney.
Yes, and that's one of those things where the pop star soundtrack is.
Oh my God!
I mean, I don't even know if that would be allowed today with the amount of.
I don't know. That was a movie,
some
right?
of those,
the Pop Star movie.
Yeah, Pop Star. It's called Pop Star. Never Stop. Never.
I don't think I've ever
hilarious.
seen the whole thing.
Dude,
I've seen
it's
the
hilarious.
first half of it.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know why I quit watching it, but I anyway. All right. I gotta get ready. We got a lot to get through.
Yeah.
Pinocchio is coming to Disney Plus. Compelling new live action starring Tom Hanks. Thank you. Tom Hanks is the star. He's going to play Geppetto. What I thought was interesting is director Robert Zemeckis. So a very interesting choice for Pinocchio. But that being said, I
believe he could do it.
Yeah, I mean, he can. I mean, Aladdin was Guy Ritchie. So, I mean, after that...
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, exactly.
So, after seeing that, I'm not surprised about anything. Peter Pan and Wendy. Peter Pan and Wendy, inspired by the Disney animated classic, has David Lowery, Pete's Dragon at the helm. A young girl rebels against... It's the live-action Peter Pan.
David Lowery.
The cast is Jude Law as Captain Hook, Yara Shahidi from Grownish, and the role of Tinkerbell... Yara Shahidi is in the role of Tinkerbell. Yeah. Who's playing Peter Pan? Did I miss that?
I don't know.
It doesn't say. No. Okay.
I don't think they cast Peter Pan yet.
Nope. Doesn't look like it. All right.
They'll go with an unknown.
Disenchanted, which is the sequel to the movie Enchanted, which I have never seen to this day.
It's so good.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Well, Amy Adams is back. I know that.
Yes.
So Amy Adams is back as Giselle. Found her life flipped upside down. She fell out of her animated fantasy world to discover herself stuck in real life Manhattan. So it will be exclusively on Disney Plus. And then finally, Sister Act 3.
Sister Act 3.
Sister Act 3, the third film in the Sister Act series with Whoopi Goldberg. I think that pretty much... Tyler Perry is signed on as a producer for that particular film. So, okay. That's a lot. Real quick thoughts on Disney proper... go. All you.
It's a lot. Dude, it's like they did not leave anything that all of their IPs were just like, here you go, IP for you, IP for you, IP for you, IP for you. Like they just took a big IP shit is what they did. And
a lot of regurgitating and or expanding on IPs with a couple of exceptions. Like the Safety movie is definitely, it's kind of its own thing. But for the most part, it's all, you're right. It's all either sequels or reimaginings. So,
like Sister Act 3, for example.
Why do we need that movie? When I saw that, I was like, why? I mean, even if it's good, it could very well be good. But I usually never say that. Really, I never say that. We don't need that movie. Like, we don't need any movie technically. But like, I really heard that, and I was like, I don't know.
That was an out of left field one, in my opinion. I mean,
and I have a take on this, and this is about as political as I'm gonna get. So, okay. Whoopi Goldberg obviously sits on one side of a political spectrum, especially if you have seen her takes on The View, right?
Yeah.
The crowd who I feel like would watch a Sister Act movie most likely sits in a demographic that sits on the other side of that political spectrum. I think that movie is going to tank horribly because I don't think that crowd is going to watch Whoopi Goldberg in anything right now because of her political views. And that's as far as I'm going to go politically, but it was the first thought I had is like the people who would be interested in this movie are not interested in seeing Whoopi Goldberg. And I don't know. I could be wrong. But
it's one of Sister Act is such a it's so rooted in the 90s. I mean, the first Sister Act really came out in like 93?
Yeah, I think
94,
so. It was definitely early 90s for sure.
So it's like, and at the time, arguably, it's kind of a classic of the 90s.
Well, its concept at the time wasn't bad. I enjoyed the first Sister Act. I didn't mind it at all. And it was a good concept for a film, and it came off well. Sister Act 2.
No, it is the first. But that was the typical. Sister Act is a classic. I mean, it was nominated for a couple Golden Globes. Not that it's hard to get nominated for Golden Globes, but that's still.
Yeah.
Still, it's a thing where it's like, it was nominated for Best Comedy, and Whoopi Goldberg was nominated for Best Actress in a Comedy for Sister Act.
Yeah.
But just now they're like, okay, well, now we're going to do Sister Act 3. It's like, it's 30 years, it's almost 30 years later.
Yeah,
like,
it was
Disenchanted thing.
And again, I could be wrong. Sister Act 3 could be amazing, and maybe I'll be wrong. But I feel like that movie is going to take, luckily for them, I'm pretty sure, like it said, it is a Disney Plus, straight to Disney Plus release, I think. So, so we won't know if it tanks because they won't tell us. So, and
but
sorry,
Pinocchio,
you were going to say Hocus Pocus. You were going to say that.
No, Disenchanted.
Or Disenchanted. I'm sorry.
But so Enchanted came out in 2007. That was a huge hit for Disney. That was a huge thing for just Amy Adams and her career. That's really the biggest thing about the movie Enchanted. It's a fun movie. It's a good deal. But what it comes down to is just like Amy Adams was so freaking good in that movie, and it's not even a movie that. You're talking to me like I'm not that kind of a movie fan.
It's not quite your cup of tea, is what you're saying. It's
not. No, I mean it's not. It's not a Ridley Scott film. It's not a Martin Scorsese movie. It's not a Christopher Nolan movie. But it's good lord. Like Enchanted was a really fun, like good, fun, feel good movie, and Amy Adams just freaking crushed it. And I would love to see her play again in Disenchanted.
So I told you I've never seen this movie. I don't know why. It's not like I wouldn't. I never got around to it. So I'm gonna have to put it on my list now, and then I'll have to watch Disenchanted. But it was one I was interested in because I have heard a lot of people say exactly what you said, is that it's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I'm interested in Hocus Pocus 2 because I love the first Hocus Pocus, and that's right in my childhood. So Well,
now see Hocus. Okay, so Hocus Pocus 2 is okay, but Sister Act 3?
Sister Act 2 was so bad. And I don't know. What I will say about Sister Act 3 is I bet you the music is going to be very rooted in gospel, and it's probably going to be... They're probably going to really push the music on that. Again, it could end up being really good. I'm not saying it won't be. It's one of those I'm not very interested in. But who knows? I might be bored one day and turn it on. Could be the best fucking movie I've ever seen. Who knows? Just looking at it from the outside, and it's just like, and like I said, I premise it knowing that I'm being hypocritical because I always say no movie is ever needed, but do we really need a Sister Act 3? I just don't know. So I don't know. But anyway,
I would also just venture to argue that maybe Hocus Pocus has a little more of that classic edge than Sister Act.
What I think Hocus Pocus has over Sister Act is it hasn't had a sequel. I mean, Sister Act already has had a sequel. Hocus Pocus hasn't, and it's a very beloved movie. And they have been talking about the Hocus Pocus sequel for the better part of a decade. Like
I'm going to say, it's been at least 10 years since they first started talking about it.
So and that movie is even longer, like another 10 years older than that. So it's even more, I think. I don't remember when Hocus Pocus. It was late 90s, I think, or mid to late 90s for Hocus Pocus.
When Hocus Pocus came out?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I think it was early 90s.
It was so that movie's pushing 30 years old.
That's what I'm saying.
In the last 10 years, but there's been a real push to get that movie made. So I am excited for that movie just on kind of all that premise, whereas Sister Act 3, it's already had its sequel. It had its shot, Like, that's kind of why I feel differently about it. But again, I know I'm also fully being hypocritical when I say that, because I always say that we should give every movie a chance. So
give it all a chance.
All right, Pixar. We got to move on here. We got so much more to get to yet.
Pixar.
All right, Pixar. Inside Pixar, a new documentary series that I will definitely be watching, invites Pixar fans into the studio for an up-close, never-seen look at the artistry, craftsmanship, storytellers behind beloved films. The first 5 episodes are currently available on Disney+, with more scheduled to release soon, which I've already watched the first 5 episodes of this, so I will be watching the rest of that. It's definitely very interesting. It's a good thing. Soul launches December 25th on Disney Plus.
Right.
A full length feature film. And if you've seen the preview for this movie, visually it is the most stunning Pixar movie I have ever seen. just on the visuals alone. Good God, it looks so good. All right. So anyway,
I haven't seen anything about it, so
yeah,
I'll check it out.
Just on the visuals alone, it is phenomenal. Explores themes like appreciating the simple joys of life and finding one's unique spark. Directed by Doctor. Just Doctor. It says directed by Doctor.
Oh, probably Pete Doctor.
Oh,
D-O-C-T-E-R?
they must have left his name off this article. Directed by Doctor. The film introduces Joe Gardner, the voice. Jamie Foxx is the voice of the band teacher, who gets a chance of a lifetime to play at the best jazz club in town, but one small misstep in the streets of New York theater, he basically dies, and then it goes over like what happens after he dies and what happens to his soul and whatnot. So. But the previous
kind of
it's kind of it's done by the same people who did Inside Out, so it's kind
I was gonna say it's got a lot of Inside Out vibes. So maybe it's a Wonderful Life type vibes.
Yeah, it's probably similar to that type of thing. Again, visually this looks stunning, and it's Pixar. They do is produce good content for the most part. So Burrow is the next one. Burrow is part of Pixar's collection of shorts called Spark Shorts that are created by a diverse group of storytellers, debuting exclusively on Disney Plus on December 25th of 2020. Burrow features a young rabbit that embarks on a journey to dig Burrow of her dreams despite not having a clue what she's doing. Now, this particular thing in the previews that they showed was 2D drawn animation. So this was not Pixar 3D from what they showed. Now, what they could have been showing is concept, and I don't know, but the thing that they showed when they talked about this movie in the presentation, it was 2D. So it was just hand-drawn 2D animation.
Interesting.
I thought so too, especially coming from Pixar.
Interesting. Well, Pixar's the 3D aspect, and then they have regular Disney animation for still the classic 2D.
I thought it was very curious that was the clip they showed. So again, it could have been concept, but I feel like if it's coming out in less than 2 weeks, it's probably not concept. So all right, Pixar Popcorn coming to Disney Plus in January of 2021. It's a collection of mini shorts featuring Pixar characters of all new bite-sized stories created by Pixar. So they're mini films with different Pixar characters, basically. So moving on. Doug Days. Doug Days premieres on Disney Plus in the fall of 2021, a new collection of shorts that follows the humorous misadventures of Doug, the lovable dog from Disney and Pixar's Up. Each short features everyday events that occur around Doug's backyard. This looked really funny, the little preview they showed. Yeah. I mean, if you've seen Up, the dog's hilarious in that movie, and the preview they showed, they had a bunch of puppies in a box, and they opened the box, and the puppies are rushing out. He's like, puppies, puppies, puppies! He was freaking out, so it was pretty funny. Yeah.
Once again, great property for the kids.
And a lot of this stuff is going to be mostly kids stuff. So Cars TV show coming to Disney Plus in fall 2022, all new series following Lightning McQueen and Mater on a cross-country trip. So
sure.
That's kind of how I felt on that one too. Win or Lose, Pixar's first ever original long form animated series. So this is going to be a big one. It follows a co-ed middle school softball team in a week leading up to their championship game. Each 20-minute episode highlights the perspective of a different character and explores the drama of bad calls made on and off the field. So every episode is the same thing from a different person's perspective.
Right.
I thought that was a really cool kind of unique way to present a show. So I thought that was kind of neat. So, and that's it for Pixar. So, Pixar in a whole. Go. Thoughts on the Pixar lineup?
I mean, once again, just they're hitting the intellectual property, which is great. Doug Days, I think, looks really fun, but I'm a big fan of Up. Then you got the Cars thing. I don't even know if I saw Cars, to be honest. I think I've kind of seen it in the background and whatnot. But
the first
it's
Cars
a property that
good.
Yeah. I mean, did you mention the Buzz Lightyear origin story?
We haven't gotten there yet.
Oh, we didn't get there yet.
It did not. It is not. Yep, we have not gotten there yet. It's not listed. And if they don't, let me see.
Yes.
No, they didn't list it. They didn't list it on the article. I don't know why, but they left it off. So let's talk about that, because that is definitely one I wanted to talk about. So it's called Lightyear.
It's called Lightyear. And who's doing the voice about Lightyear?
So it is Chris Evans.
It is Chris Evans.
And the premise of this show is cool. So the whole point in Toy Story, Buzz Lightyear is a toy based off a TV show called Buzz Lightyear, but that TV show was based in their world off a real person, and that was Buzz Lightyear, the astronaut. So this is the story of Buzz Lightyear, the astronaut, played by Chris Evans, which at first a lot of people were up in arms because like, Tim Allen's not voicing him? It's not the toy.
It's not the toy.
It's the real man. And that's what people need to understand. And that's why a different voice actor. And that's why. And dude, the short little clip they showed, again, visually stunning. Looked amazing.
Yeah. So, it looks cool. It's a cool concept.
Yeah.
That Win or Lose sounds pretty good. I thought it was interesting that they described it as a Rashomon style series, which, if you're familiar with the film Rashomon, which is an Akira Kurosawa movie from the 50s, it's about the rape and murder of a bride told from different perspectives, and was actually the foundation for Kill Bill.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess the only thing that it has in common with that is the different perspective thing, but yeah, I mean...
It's like Rashomon is like that. Rashomon is like the OG of the narratives, like, like Crash, with Matt Dillon, and like that multiple tiered stories happening and whatnot. So Rashomon's kind of the OG of that style.
Okay, so this is kind of...
I just thought
this is the Disney version of that style.
The Disney version of Rashomon. Okay,
Oh
fine.
my god.
All right.
Right.
It sounds cool either way.
Yeah. No, I think the concept is great. Any more thoughts on Pixar before we move on to Marvel?
I've always liked Pixar, and they're just going to keep going. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. It's great. Once again, there's not a whole, it's like, I don't want to beat the dead horse with what we're saying here, but it's like this investor meeting, like, once again, they said, here, we're doing this, and everything was just like, boom.
I heard somebody call this an offensive. This was an offensive.
Yes.
Because Disney has had such a rough year with COVID. This is an offensive saying, look, we had a bad year, but look at all this shit.
We had a bad year, but we are
set.
We're set. We're gonna crush it. Give us 5 years. Give us 5 years.
Please give us your money, and we're gonna. So that's what this was. This was an offensive for that.
Yeah, you're right. That's a good way to put it too.
Yeah. My quick take on all the Pixar stuff. Honestly, with all of it, kind of like you said, a lot of just repeating IP and whatnot. I do think the win or lose thing looks kind of cool, and I am interested in Soul. I've been interested in Soul since I saw the first preview. When I first heard the concept of that movie, I was like, eh. I saw the first preview and I was like, okay, no, this looks really damn good. And again, it's visually the best visual Pixar has ever put out, in my opinion.
Right.
So, all right. That's
well, it's a Pete Docter. It's a Pete Docter film, which he's one of the founders of Pixar in a sense. I mean, I think he directed Up. Yeah. And I know he had a hand in the Toy Story franchise. I don't remember how exactly, but he's been, same with like Andrew Stanton, and the other guy's name who did Cars. It eludes me.
I don't know. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, I don't know.
But they're just,
Pixar family is pretty tight knit though too. From the
exactly.
So like you said, he had involvement in Toy Story. Well, like most of the directors and actually the guy running Pixar right now had early involvement in Toy Story too. He isn't the main guy, and it wasn't the same guy that was the main guy at Pixar back then. But
exactly.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. Marvel, and the next two we're gonna spend more time on. So next up is Marvel, and we're gonna close out with Lucasfilm. So, all right, Marvel.
What about Hulu and FX?
The article doesn't go into that. We can round that out at the end too and talk about those two, because I did want to talk about the aliens as well, and a couple of things with Hulu. So, all right, Marvel. WandaVision. WandaVision is launching on Disney Plus on January 15th. Is Marvel
I'm
Studios'
so
first
excited.
series continues to expand the MCU. Wanda Maximoff and Vision are two superpowered beings living idealized suburban lives and begin to suspect everything is not as it seems. Starring Elizabeth Olsen, Paul Bettany, Katherine Hahn, Tiana Paris, Kat Dennings, Randall Park. It's directed by Matt Shackman, and Jack Schaefer is the head writer. So, dude, I am so stoked for this show. Just like you just said.
Yes.
I am so excited for this show. So, yeah. And that's January 15th. So that's coming up in about a month. So,
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Falcon on the shoulder.
Falcon and Winter Soldier is kicking off Disney Plus on March 19th, so 2 months after WandaVision. New series starring Anthony Mackie and Sam Wilson, the Falcon, Sebastian Stan, Bucky Barnes as the Winter Soldier, the pair who came together in the final moments of Avengers Endgame team up in a global adventure that tests their abilities and their patience. Directed by Kerry Scoglin, Malcolm Spellman, serving as the head writer. It's a 6-episode series, stars Daniel Bruhl as Baron Zemo returning, Emily Van Camp as Sharon Carter returning, and Wyatt Russell as John Walker. I think that's a new character. So Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I'm not quite as excited. You know, it's funny, when I first heard about all these shows, that was probably the one that I was most excited about. And now after seeing the previews of WandaVision and some of the other ones, Falcon and Winter Soldier keeps dropping on the list of the shows.
Really, it's all of them. You look at their slate for their MCU Disney Plus series that they're doing, and like WandaVision is just leagues ahead of all of them. Like WandaVision looks so good, so just unique to that.
The fact that they filmed it in front of live studio audiences for the sitcom portions alone, I was just like, oh my god, this show is going to be so bonkers. It's going to be crazy. Yeah. And then like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki,
She-Hulk, Hawkeye, all the other series. Okay, fine, they'll be cool. I mean, I'm excited for Falcon and Winter Soldier from the sense of like, I like Anthony Mackie, so I'll watch it because I like Anthony Mackie as an actor. Yeah. You know. Other than that, it's kind of...
I mean, I'm gonna watch it because I love Marvel stuff, and and I'm sure it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna. I'm hoping anyway that it kind of falls into that the Winter Soldier movie type thing. So if it falls into that kind of, if they do it like that, I think it could be really good. But I saw the preview and I was just kind of like, I don't know. Yeah. I maybe I should watch it again. I don't know.
Well, yeah. It's just all right.
I don't know. But I am super excited about WandaVision. All right. So third one. Now there are 10 Marvel shows, mind you. 10.
Yeah.
So Loki is set to debut in May of, so again, 2 months later. So every 2 months now so far, we're going to have a new show.
Right.
Featuring the God of Mischief as he steps out of his brother's shadow into a new series that takes place in the events after Avengers Endgame. So this literally picks up after Loki disappears in Endgame. It's literally... I
haven't seen Endgame.
Oh, dude. Spoiler. Sorry, man.
Not really... Here's the thing. I actually just kind of predicted Endgame anyway. The second I saw Infinity Wars, I kind of already knew the plot of the movie. It's like, okay, I'll see it at some point. It's 3 hours. I really wanted to see it, but,
It's worth a watch, dude. I have the 4K, by the way. Anyway, all right, so Loki picks up right where Endgame left off, and it's Tom Hiddleston, Owen Wilson. If I butcher this name, I'm sorry. It's Gugu or Juju Mbathwa Raw, Sophia Di Martino, Wunmi Mosaku, Richard E. Grant, Kate Herron, and Kate Herron is the director, and Michael Waldron is the head writer. Did you see this preview? They dropped it last night.
No, I did see that they dropped it. I didn't watch the preview for it. But
I went from being like, I don't really know about this to fuck yes, I want to see this show. It looks like a spy thriller. with Loki as
with
the
Loki.
spy. It looks amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it's based off of a comic book trope. Damn it, I can't remember he's being chased by and he gets captured by like an agency kind of like SHIELD, but they're called something like the TVW or TVA or something like, I don't know. Anyway,
sure.
It looks really good. It looked I was like, holy shit. And Hiddleston kills that role, so
he does. Tom Hiddleston's a very good performer, so
yeah.
Keep watching him play Loki.
Yeah.
I mean, give him that. Like down to with a lot of these series is what?
Oh, I thought I lost you for a second, but you're back. You're good.
Just what it comes down to with a lot of the series is like, yes, I'd watch Loki because I love watching Tom Hiddleston play Loki.
Yeah.
And with Falcon, Winter Soldier, love Anthony Mackie, and even WandaVision to some extent. WandaVision looks great, but to watch Paul Bettany continue on as Vision and Elizabeth Olsen continue on as Wanda, like that's also just something to.
And that's kind of the crazy thing I've thought about all of these shows, minus Falcon and Winter Soldier, to be honest, so far. But everything I've seen a preview for, at first I was kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, it's them. But then once I've seen the previews, I was like, oh no, this looks good. Except for Falcon and Winter Soldier, I didn't get that vibe. And again, I kind of feel like maybe I should rewatch that trailer because, I don't know. But all right, next show, really quick. What If? I've wanted to see this show since concept came out on it, by the way. So What If flips the script on the MCU, reimagining famous events from the films in unexpected ways, coming to Disney Plus in summer of 2021. Marvel Films' first animated series focuses on different heroes from the MCU, featuring the voice cast, which includes... voice cast of stars who reprise their roles. Sorry, it doesn't list who they are. The series directed by Brian Andrews. Ashley Bradley is the head writer. So one of the things I saw in the preview for this is Marvel Zombies. They showed a zombie Captain America. Yeah. And I was like, holy shit, please do Marvel Zombies. So I love the idea of this. One of the other things they showed is what if Peggy Carter became... Captain, except it was Captain Britain. But yeah, I mean, I really love the concept. I thought it looked really cool. The animation style was kind of a unique animation style. So the trailer looked really good. I liked it. I'm definitely in on the show, but I was in from concept. So I'm easy to please when it comes to Marvel. I'll watch pretty much anything they put out. So, all right. Miss Marvel launching on Disney Plus in late 2021 is a new series. And introduces Kamala Khan as a 16-year-old. 16-year-old Pakistani American growing up in Jersey City, a great student, avid gamer, and a ferocious fan of fiction-style scribe. She has a special affinity for superheroes, particularly Captain Marvel, but Kamala struggles to fit in at home and school. That is until she gets superpowers like the heroes she always looked up to. Life is easier with superpowers, right? Anyway, it goes into the stars. So Iman Vellani, who they did like a whole like contest basically, and this girl ended up being whittled down to being the winner, and she's the star of the show. So right. It's going to include Ramis Knight, Segar Shaikh, Rish Shah, Zenobi Shroff, Mohan Kapoor, Matt Litz, Yasim Fletcher, Laith Naki, Azir Uzman, Travina Springer, and Nimra Bucha. And if I butchered any of those names, I'm really sorry. Directed by Adil El Aribi and Bilal Falah, Mira Menon, and Sharim Obaid Shinoy. So, when I first heard of this show, I felt exactly about this show how I felt when Captain Marvel was first introduced. When X-Men comes out, the Rogue thing is going to be really cool. And then I found out this was about a 16-year-old girl, and I didn't feel as cool about that anymore. And if you know the story about Rogue and Miss Marvel, you understand. So
I don't.
I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but that I can say this: Rogue pretty much almost kills her.
Oh.
But I'm not going to say how or why or what happened, because it's huge exposition and character development on what happened.
Gotcha.
So, but anyway, I'm interested. We'll see. You know, Captain Marvel was not really my favorite movie when it came out.
It was good.
It was good. It was entertaining.
It was good.
It was just good. It just, that's kind of where I was at with Captain Marvel.
I liked the throwback that they had it take place in '96. I thought that was a good call on their part.
Honestly, my problem was with Captain Marvel herself, and it's not Brie Larson's fault. I think that's just how they wrote the character. She was just so very stoic, and it just, I don't know. It's just not my favorite character. I don't really like the character that much. But it's nothing Brie Larson did or anybody else did. I think it just didn't. So I'm very curious to see. I don't know a lot about Kamala Khan and Miss Marvel. So Miss Marvel has been multiple people in the comics. So Carol Danvers, who is Captain Marvel, has also been Miss Marvel. So and that's where the Rogue thing comes in. Rogue and Carol Danvers, Miss Marvel, confront each other. So I'm curious to see how this is all going to tie in and how it goes. So for me, it's kind of
I wonder how much too, though, because it is a very convoluted universe, and with the Netflix, well, like with the Netflix Marvel properties, it's like those were always very much separate from the MCU.
From what I understand, those were supposed to be part of it, and yet Feige and Marvel is basically treating those like they don't exist. So,
and that's fine though. Like it's like with the first 3 phases of Marvel, and then you had Netflix's Marvel, and that was always very separate. Now going into Phase 4, it seems like really Disney is just like, all right, let's bring everything together, and Phase 4 is going to have series, mini, featurettes, feature films, the whole 9 yards is going to be in Phase 4.
If there's one thing I know about Kevin Feige is that he has a plan, and some of it with these things, and I'm going to get into it after we get through all the synopsises, but some of it is coming to fruition. You can start connecting some of the dots now, and I think it is very convoluted, but I think there are lots of threads, and some of them are now starting to intertwine a little bit, and we haven't even seen the movies yet.
Exactly.
All right, so next one, Hawkeye. Hawkeye, which debuts on Disney Plus in late 2021, stars Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye, teams up with another well-known archer from the comics, Kate Bishop, played by Haley Steinfeld. So they officially announced Haley Steinfeld in the Hawkeye movie.
For her.
Cast also includes Vera Farmiga, Fra Fee, Tony Dalton, Zahn McLaren, Brian D'Arcy, James... Brian D'Arcy James, and newcomer Alaqua Cox as Maya Lopez. Hawkeye is helmed by Rhys Thomas, the directing duo Bert and Bertie. So...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so this is the show... This was my least, Hawkeye, whatever.
Sure.
And
they was a good supporting character.
They didn't show any footage, so I don't really know, how I feel about this show. But again, with Marvel, it probably is going to be pretty entertaining. So,
well, it's consumable content.
Yeah, exactly. So,
that's all it is.
With that being said, let's go to She-Hulk. So, She-Hulk, a new comedy series, and they made it a point to say a new comedy series coming to Disney Plus, stars Tatiana Maslany as She-Hulk, which was they introduced her last night as the star, so that was not confirmed until last night. So Tatiana Maslany is going to play She-Hulk Jennifer Walters, a lawyer who specializes in superhuman-oriented legal cases. She-Hulk will welcome a host of Marvel characters to the series, including Mark Ruffalo, who's going to reprise his role, so he's coming, and Abomination, played by Tim Roth. He's returning.
Oh, nice.
All the way back from 2008.
Yeah.
So, So yes, Abomination. The series is directed by Kat Cairo and Anu Valia. Jessica Gao is the head writer. So this show, I'm interested in the show. As soon as I saw Ruffalo and now Abomination is back in, and I think this show is going to tie into the new Spider-Man movie, especially with the last Spider-Man movie and how it ended. Because as of right now, Peter Parker needs legal representation. So
see, I didn't see Far From Home either.
Oh well, damn it! I keep spoiling shit for you. I'm sorry, man.
Right. I made a very, I don't know, 2019. I just kind of I fell off on the Marvel for whatever reason.
I got
like
you.
I saw Captain Marvel. I liked Captain Marvel, but other than that, I kind of was like, all right, I got to go see Endgame. Then I just didn't get to it. Got to go see. Oh, then I just didn't get to it.
Yeah,
I mean, I didn't Walker either. So
yeah,
you know.
Well,
but with the series is like, yes, once again, consumable content. Sounds good. Sounds fun. What do you got? What do we got next? Moon Knight.
Moon Knight. Yeah, you called it. Moon Knight. I'm very interested in this show.
Yes.
Moon Knight is a new series created for Disney Plus, directed by Mohamed Diab. The action adventure features a complex vigilante who suffers from dissociative identity disorder. The multiple identities who live inside him are distinct characters who appear against a backdrop of Egyptian iconography, which they say, I don't know a lot about the Moon Knight character in the comics, but what I do hear about him is he's very similar to like a Batman-esque type character.
Yeah.
So he is bludgeoning and beating the shit out of people in a very violent way. That is what I hear. And then when I found out he had multiple personalities, I'm like, oh my God, I've got to see this.
Yes.
Yes. So that is going to start, well, rumored, it's not confirmed, but the guy from that was in Star Wars, he played the pilot, he played Poe Dameron.
Oscar Isaacson.
Yes, Oscar Isaacson. Yeah. So he's the rumored star for this. It's not official, but it's going to be him.
Yeah. But that'd be great because he's awesome. So
yeah, agreed.
Moon Knight. You know, a lot of the content that we've been talking about, She-Hulk, Hawkeye. I have a very take it or leave it kind of attitude towards that. But Moon Knight, like WandaVision, definitely number one. Moon Knight is my second most anticipated of this. In my opinion, it just sounds really cool. And like you said, it's a character. Yeah. I don't know a lot about Moon Knight. So to kind of branch off into this kind of new story in the Marvel-verse, I'm excited for that.
Yeah. You know what I love about Marvel? What I've loved about them from the beginning, honestly, is they still haven't gotten even into their big characters yet. Because they just acquired X-Men and Fantastic Four, right?
Right.
And they still haven't even got... And they've made great stories out of character like Hawkeye. And they just find a way to take care... Even Iron Man, right? Like Iron Man...
Iron Man.
Biggest, no. And yet they still find ways to make very interesting storylines out of characters that aren't ginormous IPs. And then the ones that are, like Spider-Man, now granted they're renting Spider-Man, but still, the ones that are, they don't even delve into as far.
Nope.
It's crazy how they work it, and I love it. Love it. I think it's great. I'm such a Marvel junkie. It's bad.
Yeah. Well, it's all right. Could be a heroin junkie.
Well, yeah. All right. So the next, on that happy note, the next show. Excuse me. Secret Invasion. Secret Invasion is a newly announced series being headed to Disney Plus that stars Sam Jackson as Nick Fury and Ben Mendelsohn as the Skrull Talos. So from Captain Marvel. Characters you first met Captain Marvel crossover comic event series showcases a fraction of shape-shifting Skrulls that have been infiltrating Earth for years. So this show, they announced it yesterday. Nobody knew it was coming. It's been speculated as the big event that's going to happen for this next phase of Marvel, when in fact they made it kind of an afterthought show, or so it seems. This show should be huge news. The event of Secret Invasion is right up there with Civil War and some of the major events that have happened in Marvel. And it's like they're just kind of like, Secret Invasion, whatever. I think it's going to be really good, though. I that was some of my favorite parts of Captain Marvel. I thought were Sam Jackson and Ben Mendelsohn. So
especially Ben Mendelsohn.
Oh, he's such a great actor. Oh my God, he's so good.
He's someone who I could not stand him in The Dark Knight Rises.
Really?
But everything else I saw, I've seen him in. I've always been like, okay, yeah, like he was the corporate villain in Ready Player One. I was like,
dude, he was so great in that movie. Yeah, I loved him in Ready Player One. Yeah,
and especially in Captain Marvel, he was really good in Captain Marvel.
Yeah. All right, next one, Ironheart. I have been expecting this movie. I've been or show. Is it show or it's a series? Sorry, I've been expecting this one. Ever since they, got rid of Tony Stark. I have been expecting this one because they need some type of Iron Man in their universe now.
Right.
Also, this comic is apparently pretty popular right now. This is a very popular IP for Marvel, the comics.
Good.
Ironheart is the second of the newly announced series coming to Disney Plus. Stars Dominique Thorne as Riri Williams, a genius inventor who creates the most advanced suit of armor since the Iron Man suit. So this is a young girl. Riri Williams in the comics is a young girl who...
African-American girl.
Yes. Who, basically becomes the new Iron Man. I know that comes with some certain political stuff that people feel, but...
Yeah, probably.
In my eyes, I look at it as, look, this is a popular comic series. It only makes sense that Marvel takes that and runs with it in their movie, cinematic.
Well, and back to them just being kind of a celebration of cultural diversity. Why not? It's once again, I have no gripe with that at all. Sure.
Well, and we've talked about this many times. Like, look. As long as it's a good movie and the story is good and the writing's good and they're not pushing a certain political thing here or there or whatever, it just make it a good story, make it a good, and then who cares who stars?
Make it a good story, make it a good, right, exactly.
It doesn't matter who the central characters are as long as it's about the story of those characters and not, hey, look, it's, this or whatever.
Iron Man was a chauvinistic white male 12 years ago, but now it's a young black female. Okay. Cool.
Is the story good? And
that's good.
And
are they good?
Are they going to make it a point to point that out every 10 seconds in the movie? That's if as long as they don't do that, I feel like it'd be good. All right. Next show. Armor Wars, based on the classic Marvel comic series, so more Iron Man stuff, comes to Disney Plus, starring Don Cheadle, reprising his role as James Rhodes, who has to face off with what happens when Tony Stark tech falls into the wrong hands. So basically, this is Iron Man 2 rebooted into a TV show, more or less.
Yes.
So,
yes.
I'll still watch it, but I don't know.
Exactly.
It is content for the streaming service. This one cracks me up. The Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. So they're gonna film this this holiday special. It's gonna come out Christmas of 2022. But they're gonna film it at the same time they're filming Guardians 3. So the holiday special will come out before Guardians 3. But James Gunn is going to have fun with this. And I half expect him to make fun of the Star Wars holiday special from years past, and use that kind of... I kind of have half expecting some tropes. Of course, I'm going to watch it because, again, I'm a Marvel junkie, but it's filler stuff, but it could be a lot of fun. And anything James Gunn does is usually a lot of fun. So, for that alone, I think it might be worth it.
And just that it's Guardians, so to kind of preface Guardians 3, to have a holiday special, why not? I would put that a cut above kind of other things, just because it's Guardians.
Oh yeah, and those characters are so great. I love, And then finally, I Am Groot. I Am Groot features everyone's favorite baby tree in a series of original shorts coming to Disney Plus. So this is straight up Baby Groot fan service.
Baby Groot
and everybody's going to go, oh my God, I kind of half expected him to have Baby Yoda join him, and
I was just gonna say, right? Let's throw the child in there,
and everybody would just die. I mean, it's
hey, that series will come shortly. They will have some crossover of the child and Baby Groot teaming up.
I feel like it's the inevitable thing, right?
It is, yeah.
So the things they did not list in this article, they did talk about, and I don't know why. Again, I feel like I don't know why they missed a few things in the article that I have. But anyway, they did not talk about the fact that they announced that Black Panther 2 is still coming out. It's maintaining its release date that it had, and they are not recasting the character of T'Challa. So
no,
they made that announcement, which makes me think they already had it written and they already knew, because they're not pushing the date. They're not. Well, they already knew what they were gonna do, and they just didn't say, and won't say. I think they already knew, and I think, and that's total speculation on my part. But if they had to do a major rewrite because he passed away, I would think the movie would have to get pushed off. It wouldn't hold the same release date. I mean, it literally has never changed its release date, even with COVID. It's still there.
Right.
So. Right. My guess is they already knew where they were going to go with this, and they just weren't telling anybody. So
which shows just kind of the immeasurable respect on their part, toward Chadwick Boseman, and that, I mean, very sad, tragic circumstances about that. But even he, when it came out that he passed away and that he had suffered with it for 4 years, that was one of those things where it's like, wow, like you have crafted an awesome legacy in the short time that we had you as, a staple of American cinema.
Yeah.
And that's even past the T'Challa thing. Like, yes, he was great as T'Challa, but to talk about Marshall or 42 or the James Brown movie.
Yep.
But it's like, here's an actor who played, Get On Up, who just, he was in American cinema for 10 years, maybe,
Yeah.
So that's just that, to me, that's cool. I think it does show, like you said, the release date hasn't been pushed. So I think Kevin Feige and Ryan Coogler were kind of in touch with him about his circumstances, and to be as sad as they were, and I think it shows a level of respect, which I appreciate.
Yeah, and I don't know if you know, but recently on Disney Plus, they changed the opening intro. The Marvel intros that they have.
Yeah.
They changed the intro for Black Panther to have a kind of a homage, kind of like they did with Stan Lee and Captain Marvel. So it's kind of the same thing. So, and I agree. I think they respected the hell out of him as an actor. He's obviously an amazing actor and a huge legacy. I will say this. I wouldn't have had a problem with them recasting the character. I think that's a very important character for Marvel and what they, could do with him. But I also don't have a problem with them not recasting the character.
Exactly.
So I don't feel like there was a wrong move. In a lot of ways, there maybe wasn't a right move, So it's hard. I think they have handled that situation very gracefully. But I do, and again, I have no proof to this, but I do firmly believe that they knew and they've already had this written. And I think they knew where they were going to go. So, So there was that, and then they just confirmed that they're releasing Eternals still. And then the big one that was not on this list at all, and I'm shocked, they announced the Fantastic Four movie.
Right.
They announced that they're going to be doing Fantastic Four. So obviously, way down the line, it was the last kind of mic drop. They just, like, we're doing Fantastic Four. Goodbye. Like it didn't. But dude. Can they break the curse? That's the question. Can they break the Fantastic Four curse?
The thing with the Fantastic Four, where they're at now, it's one of those where it's like, is it going to be third time's the charm or strike three, you're out? Because
here's the thing. I feel like it may be strike three, you're out, but at least they got their best hitter up there. It's Marvel doing it. It's not,
Yeah,
and
right.
Feige's going to take his time, especially since he knows the history. I 100%. In fact, I think he was a producer on the first two. if I'm not mistaken. So,
I don't know.
With Fox, he's a producer on most of those Fox X-Men films too.
Right.
So, I have a feeling he's going to take his time and do it right, and make sure it gets its just due. But who knows, man? Who knows?
Well,
anyway,
and it's like it's the third. So you had the Tim Story's first two movies, then the Josh Trank, whatever his name is, his reboot, and now it's technically the fourth Fantastic Four movie.
Yes. Yep,
but it is
correct.
the third in the
Yeah.
So will it be the Fantastic Four?
Yeah. That's funny. That's good. I like how it's going to be in Marvel's fourth phase. That wasn't lost.
Exactly. No, exactly. So, you know what? The stars are aligning where we're finally going to get a really good Fantastic Four movie.
God, I hope so. I really do. So I think that pretty much wraps up Marvel. That's
Yes.
So any closing thoughts on the Marvel stuff?
We covered it. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Phase 4 is ridiculously huge.
Yeah.
The 2020 thing, like, I think has proven to be a good break because there was a sense of Marvel overload, especially now with like last year with Captain Marvel, Endgame, Far From Home.
Well, not just overload, but I think finality. I think with Endgame there was a finality to it. So
exactly. Yeah. So the break in 2020 was like, here's the end of an era with Endgame. Give you a break, and now here's Phase 4 for the next. Yeah. The next 5 years is Phase 4. Just it is actually fixing to be pretty good. I was initially kind of like, I don't really care that much about Phase 4. Mm-hmm. But now with the news of yesterday, I'm a little more convinced and I'm actually a lot more on board with Phase 4 than I was 2 days ago when I was like, I don't care about Phase 4 at all. Yeah. Now I'm like, okay, well, they got a lot of good stuff going on. So.
I actually missed something. I totally did. I missed something. And again, they didn't list it here. I don't know why my list is incomplete. And
Don Cheadle's Armor Wars.
It's a deadline. No, we talked about that one. The Ant-Man
Did we talk about Armor Wars?
Yeah, we did. Yep. The Ant-Man movie. The new Ant-Man movie. Which is, it's called Quantum. Where is it? It's not on here. It's got a crazy ass name. Are you looking it up really quick?
The new Ant-Man movie?
Yeah. Ant-Man 3. It's Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantum something. Hold on.
Oh, okay. Paul. Let's find out. Oh, yeah, Quantumania. Quantumania.
Yeah, Quantumania. So, yeah, that all right, so here's my thought. And I know you gotta go. I've kept you a long time, man. It's been sorry. All right.
It's all good.
Yeah, I knew this was gonna be a really long show. All right, so really quick to close this out. I'm excited because you have WandaVision, which is leading into Doctor Strange. Which is leading into Spider-Man 3, which is, I think, also going to be tied into the Quantumania thing. All this multiverse and all this crazy stuff that they're going to be doing. It's going to be bonkers. I think it's going to be crazy. Mm-hmm. And I think Loki also is going to tie into some of that, too. The way, if you see that preview,
for sure.
it looks like it's going to tie into that, too. So, all right, man. Thank you for joining me.
Interesting, too, with...
I'm sorry.
Well, just how it's tying in, and like you have, like Sam Raimi is doing Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and Sam Raimi obviously made the original Spider-Man trilogy. So to now, it's just interesting to how might he treat Tom Holland's Spider-Man?
I was curious about that too. I was very curious about that too. I thought it was really cool, and I don't think it was by mistake that they brought him in. So I don't
think so either.
And also, dude, for nothing else, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is a great movie for him to direct. All right, I know you got to get out of here, man. So thank you for joining me again, dude. I really appreciate it, man. And I hope you have a great day, and take it easy, man.
Yeah, enjoy. Get some rest after this, buddy.
All right, we'll do.
Because I know you still got to scratch the surface of Star Wars.
I got to get through Star Wars, and I still got like 3 other topics after that. So we got a lot to go. It's probably going to be like a 2-hour and 30-minute show. So, but we're going to get through it.
It might be your Pearl Harbor of the movie.
This will be my longest video. All right, man. We'll talk to you later.
All right, buddy. Take care. Thanks.
All right, later. So that was Ryan. Oh, let me get that. Well, hey, don't forget to subscribe, like, and all that fun stuff. Yeah, of course. So yeah, that was Ryan. I want to thank him again for joining the show. So, okay, like he said, I need to take on Lucasfilm. So that's where we're at. So I'm gonna get into that. So starting from the top here, Lucasfilm. They announced the Ahsoka Tano show. So Ahsoka, after making her long-awaited live-action debut in The Mandalorian, Ahsoka's Tano's story, written by Dave Filoni, will continue in a limited series. Ahsoka starring Rosario Dawson and exclusively produced by Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. So yeah, I mean, if you've watched Mandalorian, you know Ahsoka Tano made her live-action debut, the Ahsoka character, which obviously started on Clone Wars, which Dave Filoni created, and now obviously brought to life by Rosario Dawson. I'm very interested in the show, and I think this is where we're going to see our Grand Admiral Thrawn. So those are my two predictions on that, and we're going to move on to the next one here. Rangers of the New Republic, set within the timeline of The Mandalorian. Rangers of the New Republic is a new live-action series from executive producers Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, and they'll interact with future stories and culminate in a climactic cinematic event. So this one, I think, is the thing with Cara Dune that they are going to be going towards. I think, slight spoiler alert on Mandalorian people, Cara Dune in one of the episodes gets like a badge, like from one of the fighter pilots. I think it's a Ranger badge. I think this is exactly going to be leading into that. So I'm interested. I think it'd be good. And it's also going to have Mr. Kim from Kim's Convenience. I think he's going to be in there as well. I think he's part of that Rangers crew. I think is my guess. Give me 1 second. Can you guys give me 1 second here? I've been going for an hour and 51 minutes right now. I just need to grab some water. So if you guys hold for just a moment, I'm going to be right back. All right, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I just had to get some more water. When you talk for that long, you definitely have to, quote, lubricate. So that's what I did. So, all right, we're back. All right. Let's move on. Andor, a tense, nail-biting thriller created by Tony Gilroy, is set to arrive on Disney Plus in 2022. Diego Luna will be reprising the role of Caspian Andor from the Rogue One movie. Will be joined by a fantastic new cast that includes Stellan Skarsgård, Adria Arjona, Fiona Shaw, Denise Goff, Kyle Soler, Genevieve O'Reilly as Mon Mothma. So, again, this looks good. They didn't have any like footage or anything, but they showed kind of some of the set photo stuff, and like Rogue One was amazing. Obviously Cassian Andor was a great character in that, so I'm excited for that, of course. Moving on, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Ewan McGregor returns for Obi-Wan. It's set 10 years after the dramatic events of Revenge of the Sith, and the biggest news from this, now it's directed by Deborah Chow. That's not the biggest news. So it's directed by Deborah Chow, who did probably some of the best episodes of Mandalorian in season 1. So very excited for that. But the biggest news is Hayden Christensen will be reprising his role as Darth Vader. So they're bringing Hayden back as Darth Vader. So it'll be very interesting to see how they do that and how they pull that off. So next up, The Bad Batch. The Bad Batch follows the elite experimental clones, The Bad Batch, which is introduced in the final season of the Clone Wars. They find their way through the rapidly changing galaxy. In the immediate aftermath of the Clone Wars, members of the Bad Batch, a unique squad of clones who vary genetically from their brothers in the clone army, each possess a singular exceptional skill that makes them extraordinarily effective soldiers. Not gonna lie, the Bad Batch episodes weren't the greatest episodes in the Clone Wars. It was also more than obvious that they were setting it up for their own spin-off series. That being said, it could still be good. I'm gonna give it a shot because I love my Star Wars. So that's where we're at on that. Star Wars Visions. I'm very interested in this. Presenting an all-new creative takes on The Galaxy Far, Far Away, Star Wars Visions will be a series of animated short films celebrating Star Wars through the lens of the world's best anime creators. The anthology collection will bring 10 fantastic visions from several of the leading Japanese anime studios. So they're taking Star Wars stories, having Japanese animators come in and create anime short stories of these. Dude, that looks freaking cool. Like, oh my God, I am totally down with that. Lando, Galaxy's favorite scoundrel. Lando Calrissian is returning in Lando, a brand new series on Disney+. The creator of Dear White People is going to be the director and creator of this show and the showrunner. No word on whether it's going to be old Lando or young Lando. No word on whether Childish Gambino. What's his name? I can think of Childish Gambino. Anyway, him or whether it's going to be the original Lando Calrissian. Don't know where they're going to go. I'm totally blanking on names right now. But anyway, don't know, but, it's Lando, so I'm interested. The next one I'm really interested in. Give me 1 second. I'm going to take another drink. Almost 2 hours strong, guys. Almost 2 hours. Holy cow. And I've gone on 4.5 hours of sleep. And I got off of work. Whoa. All right. The Acolyte. Leslie Headland, Emmy Award-winning nominated creator of the mind-bending series Russian Doll, brings a new Star Wars series to Disney+. The Acolyte, the mysterious thriller that will take viewers into a galaxy of shadowy secrets and emerging dark side powers in the final days of the High Republic era. I am definitely interested in that, and I haven't even seen anything on it other than that. So totally want to see that. A droid story. It's going to be a droid story with a brand new droid that is also accompanied by R2-D2 and C-3PO. So it's probably more of a kids type thing, but maybe worth a watch. We'll see. Willow, which is a Lucasfilm from way back in the day. They're going to be doing a Disney Plus series on Willow. So Warwick Davis will be returning as the starring role of Willow, and so Willow's coming back in a series. So that's it on Star Wars series. Again, a lot of stuff going on there. They didn't even talk about the Boba Fett series, which is rumored to be happening. So we still may have more. There could be up to 10 Star Wars series going on, just like 10 Marvel series going on. So lots to go on with that. The two things that aren't listed here are the movies. There are 2 movies. The first one is going to be Squadrons, and that's Patty Jenkins directed. And actually, let me look this up really quick here. Let me get this right. Hold, please, because I want to make sure I get it right. Sorry, guys. It's supposed to be in this article, but it wasn't in the article. So, all right. So it's called Rogue Squadron. There we go. It's going to be directed by Patty Jenkins. That's pretty much all we know about it right now, but it looks really, really good. And then the other movie is the Taika Waititi-led movie, which we don't know about yet, other than Taika Waititi is doing a Star Wars movie. He's going to do that after he's done with Thor: Love and Thunder. So that's kind of it for Lucasfilm. And then, like Ryan talked about before, the only other things that we got to talk about is FX. Let me pull up here the FX shows really quick. Sorry, guys. Again, it should have been in this article. It was supposed to have everything, and it didn't. So I'm going to make sure I pull this up for you. New FX shows for 2020. Maybe I should add Disney Plus to that. Sorry, guys. Disney Plus. There we go. Doot. Actually, I should have said Hulu. Well, Alien is one of them. So that's a huge thing. So the Alien series from Noah Hawley in the works at FX, Ridley Scott is also going to be involved in that. Another one was Shogun. So Shogun is martial arts based type show. So that's going to be another one as well. So a lot going on with FX. Hulu had a ton of stuff going on with that as well. Again, it's not in the article, so I'm gonna move on. Like I said, I've been going on for 2 hours right now on the dot. So and I still have more main topics to even get to. So that was basically the gist of the entire Disney presentation. Disney. Again, this was an offensive by Disney. They went out of their way to show all their shareholders what they're coming out with and what they're doing. They're putting their foot forward. They are definitely, as you can tell, dedicating themselves to the streaming experience and direct-to-consumer content. They repeated that immediately. But, again, like I said, they also were very clear when they said that they're going to be releasing tentpole movies first before putting them on streaming services. So some of the bigger movies, the big Marvel movies, the Star Wars movies, those are going to be theatrical releases, and they were very clear in pointing that out. Unlike Warner Brothers, who is not going to be doing that or is going to try to do day and date, Disney is sticking with theatrical releases first on the big tentpole movies. So definitely I think a better strategy, much better strategy. Again, Disney showing their well thought out planning and what works, and they know what's going to make them the most money, and this is the model, and I think it's great. I was very happy with the presentation. It was a 4.5 hour meeting, and it flew by. So all in all, I thought it was really good, and I'm really excited for the Disney slate coming up. So after all of that, if you're still watching at 2 hours right now, let me know in the comments what you guys think, whether it be on Twitch or on YouTube or on Facebook. Comment below. Let me know what you guys think on that. You can also use the tip link as well. So streamlabs.com/movieidiot. Again, tip link is the best because you're supporting the show, which is always good. So, and we want that. So, again, comment below, please, guys. I want to hear you guys' thoughts on all this. That was a lot. And I told you from the start of the show, this was going to be a long, long show. And again, I thank you for Ryan for toughing it out for an hour and 45 minutes there. As I'm on my second water bottle, plus I had a Coke. So, oh, man. I'm almost done here. We're almost done. This is the longest show I've ever done so far. So, bear with me. So, a couple more topics here. So, this is still a rumor, but it's a rumor that's probably going to happen, especially now that we know pretty much all the stuff we were talking about with Marvel, and that is Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield rumored to come back for Spider-Man 3, but not just them. Listen to this. I want to get into this here. So this is what is rumored. This is for sure. Benedict Cumberbatch for sure. Alfred Molina and his Doc Ock returning for sure. He's coming back. Tobey Maguire is rumored, but it's probably going to happen. Andrew Garfield rumored, but probably going to happen. Jamie Foxx Electro, that is confirmed. Kirsten Dunst coming back as Mary Jane Watson, that is rumored, but probably going to happen. Emma Stone coming back as Gwen Stacy, again rumored, but probably going to happen. So the craziness of Spider-Man 3. Good God, Marvel. And again, I think this all goes back into what they're doing, especially with WandaVision, into, I think Loki's going to be a part of it too, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and then, of course, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, which is directed by Sam Raimi, who did those original Spider-Man movies with Tobey Maguire. It's all coming together, guys. We're starting to see kind of this vision that they had, and God, it's bonkers crazy, but I think it's going to be really good. I'm excited for this. But again, you guys always know it's not about what I think, it's about what you guys think. So let me know in the comments below your guys' thoughts. Are you excited for the Spider-Man 3 rumors, and do you think it's going to come to fruition? Comment below, let me know your thoughts. Like I said, I'm going to quick go through the rest of this here because I've been going for over 2 hours again, so I'm exhausted. All right. Wonder Woman 84 reactions. Critics are saying about the sequel. So Wonder Woman early reactions came in. and it's looking pretty good. Here's some of them right here. So Patty Jenkins made an 80s movie in every way, making it so unique for today. It feels both bigger than the first, while simultaneously more contained. Lots of Diana Prince and some epic Wonder Woman moments. Gal Gadot soars. This person says they loved it. This person says they preferred the first to the second, but let's see. I prefer Wonder Woman to Wonder Woman 84, but I also much prefer seeing filmmakers take new big swings with sequels. And that's definitely what Patty Jenkins and company do here. Not everything adds up, but the value of selflessness, love, compassion shine through. So, it wasn't a great glowing review there, but it's still not a bad one. This person's glowing review here. So Wonder Woman is the film the world needs right now, no matter what size screen you get it on. Well, hopefully you get it on the big screen, because even Patty Jenkins said that's the way it should be. Basically, the point being here is most of these are glowing reviews of Wonder Woman 84. So it looks like Wonder Woman 84 right now is getting glowing reviews, which is good. And it's exciting. And this movie's coming out on, Christmas Day. So coming out on Christmas Day on HBO Max and in theaters at the same time. So it's looking like it's a hit, possibly, if you go by those early reactions. Again, the embargo is still on the film, if I'm not mistaken, so you aren't going to get a full review of it. But all in all, it looks good. So let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Are you excited for the new Wonder Woman 84 movie? Again, that launches Christmas Day, congruently on HBO Max, and also, of course, in theaters as well. So let me know what you guys think. Oh, sorry about that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And I'm going to move on to the last thing, which it's Friday. I never thought in my wildest dreams that Mandalorian would be like the last story, the least story. But Mando took a back seat this week to everything else. So the newest episode of Mando came out today. So, as you guys know, I had some issues with last week's episode, and not that it was bad. It was good. It was still fun. It was still Star Wars, but I definitely had some issues with it. And you guys, if you watched mine and Jake's spoiler discussion, we definitely had some issues with it. I'm hoping, nothing confirmed, but I'm hoping to do the spoiler discussion with Jake tomorrow at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, right here on the Movie Idiot channel. So stay tuned for that. I will make an announcement as soon as I know for sure. So it'll either probably be tomorrow at 9 a.m. or Sunday at 9 a.m. But we haven't decided yet. So we'll figure it out and get that information out to you shortly. I got to tell you, this one, at first I was pissed off. I pressed play on this episode and it was 37 minutes long. This is the second to last episode. And it infuriated me. I was like, are you kidding me? It's the second to last episode. It should be longer, Come on, man. Give me some more content. And I watched the episode. It was a good episode. Is it one of the best? No. Bill Burr returns on this episode. I thought Bill Burr gave a great performance. Way better than his first performance. I really liked his performance. I was already annoyed starting this episode, and by the end, they turned me around. A good episode. Filler still, and setup still, but a good episode. So that's kind of my initial thoughts. Again, we'll be going into way more detail on this tomorrow. Hopefully 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Hopefully Jake will be able to join me for that then. And we'll go through all of that tomorrow. So, whoopsie, not that one. Sorry, guys. As you can tell, I've been doing this stream for 2 hours and 9 minutes now. So, man, guys, I got a few tip comments I'm going to go through really quick here. Also, I got to double check the Facebook stuff because I know I had reached out on Facebook. So give me 1 second here. All right, so I'm just going to go over some of the stuff that we were talking about on Facebook. Talking about Star Wars, Kelly said there's so much content. Ryan was excited about the fact that there are 10 shows with Marvel and with Star Wars. Kyle said, look at the trailers for Loki, WandaVision, and the Falcon and Winter Soldiers are up, and they're amazing. So people are excited about this stuff. And then Henry was talking about the Rogue Squadron movie and how he's excited for that. People are really excited. Disney really crushed it in all of this. And so that's all the Facebook stuff that I have. And then let's go through the tip really quick here, the tip donations. And again, if you guys want to tip, you can tip 24/7, streamlabs.com/movieidiot. Again, you can tip anytime, and we'd love to hear your comments and thoughts on anything movie or TV related that you want to talk about. So, and when you use the tip comment, you are supporting the show, and we really appreciate that as well. So, that being said, 3 tip comments this week. And my guy Del Mackey, he is the top tipper, by the way. Del Mackey is the #1 donator on this show. And he says, oh my God, Disney saves the day after a terrible week. Yes. With all the Warner Brothers news that was going on this week with movies and TV, Disney really stepped up and saved our asses. And again, a lot to look forward to in the Disney space. So let's see. Next one, Nick Papagiorgio says, all that amazing Star Wars content. I can't wait. Again, Nick, I'm right there with you, dude. Tons of amazing content. Again, 10 shows, 2 more movies. The movies is going to be a bit yet. I think the Patty Jenkins one's the first one up, and it's not coming out till 2023, but still a lot there. A lot there to ponder and go over, and I can't wait. And it's crazy because between Marvel and Star Wars, the big critique with Disney Plus last year was the lack of content. That will not be an issue this coming year. We're going to have a shit ton of content. Disney Plus really is going to be a step up. And even Hulu, too, with some of the effects stuff and their own Hulu originals. It's going to be awesome. So I'm very much looking forward to all that content that's coming. And then finally, Bick Mitchum says, I'm kind of underwhelmed. Disney proper was meh, and no Spider-Man 3 news. At least there will still be some theatrical releases. Well, yes, on the theatrical releases. Yeah. I mean, really all they said with Spider-Man 3 is basically they acknowledged there is a Spider-Man 3, and they also acknowledged that Doctor Strange is going to lead into Spider-Man 3. That was it. They said nothing else on that. And yeah, I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of underwhelmed on Disney proper too, and even Pixar a little bit. It just wasn't. And look, all the stuff that they're putting out could end up being awesome, but kind of what Ryan said, it seemed like they were regurgitating a lot of stuff, and then a lot of the IPs, and not a lot of original stuff. But we'll see. Look, again, the stuff they are putting out might be awesome. So yeah. So guys, that's gonna do it. It's been a marathon, 2 hours and 13 minutes. Man, what a crazy, crazy, crazy week in movie news. With this pandemic, like we haven't had a lot of movie news every week, and I started this channel last year, but I really picked it up again at the beginning of the pandemic. It was the worst time to pick this up because it's so hard, every week to come up with movie news. This week was not one of those times. This week we had plenty to talk about. So I hope you guys all enjoy the show. Thank you for tuning in. Again, don't forget, of course, to subscribe, like, comment, share. Let's build this channel up. Let's get some people talking. Let's keep talking TV, movie news, and all that fun stuff. And I really appreciate the people who tipped and sent in tips as well. I also appreciate Ryan. Again, probably tomorrow, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, for the open spoiler discussion for Mandalorian Chapter 15, the second to last episode of this season. So, and I'll here and go get some sleep. I'm tired. All right, thank you guys again, and hope you all have a great, great week, and hope to see you either tomorrow or Sunday morning, depending on when we do the spoiler discussion, and I will catch you all later. Bye-bye. See ya. Peace.